Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sarah here. So we've got a creepy video for you today. It's the 6 most disturbing forest findings caught on camera. So I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it along with you guys. But before we do, please run those likes up and consider subscribing to the channel. All right, let's get into it. It's already looking creepy. I love this stuff.
This first finding was made by hiker James Rankin in early October of 2016. James had been hiking in Berkeley-Jackson County Park when he came across an old campsite. But disturbingly, all around the campsite were multiple different missing person posters taped onto trees. The posters themselves were completely real, featuring real missing people across different U.S. states. Upon his discovery, James would quickly start recording.
Why would someone put it out in the woods?
Deep in the woods. Sort of, we're like on the border, because like there's a side of the woods where there's people's houses. But I came to a trail that led to a trail that led to a trail up the hill. But I saw what looked like a fire pit. Now remember, we're still in the woods. We're still in the woods, right? I don't know what this is.
Looks like a ritual place.
Little white. Okay. I was like, okay, these are probably no trespassing signs, or maybe it's something for the wildlife or something. Look what these are.
Why would they be missing persons places way out in the woods where no one can see them, really?
What the f is going on in here? This is Utah, Florida. They're all different. They're all different. Every single one. This one's from Georgia. And look at it. Like, look where the f we are. Who the f does something like this?
That's crazy.
And this obviously be the past. You don't know. Like, not just that this is...
Maybe it's some kind of cult
Noblesville, Indiana.
that have done murders and brought it here kind of to prove their sacrifice. Just a theory. I don't know. That looks like it could be a place where people sit at a fire and do rituals or something. That is creepy. I think I'd be out of there.
Over here in the middle of the fire pit, that's a shovel.
James would ultimately report the finding to the police. Though, upon further investigation, police would write it off as someone's Halloween decorations. James, however, was not satisfied with this investigation. His discovery took place on October 3rd, and according to James, the posters themselves did not look like they were set up recently. Later that same year, James would return to the campsite, but this time be stopped by multiple no trespassing signs.
Really?
Okay, first of all, I am not violating any of these no trespassing signs. I'm simply not. I came here only to show you and get it on tape and leave. From here, we can see down there, that's the clearing.
Same camping stuff.
Anyway, what they've done, they printed out their own no trespassing signs. Homemade. I'm assuming these are all legally binding. I have no way of knowing, so I'm not taking any chances. But you can see.
Yeah, you get shot in Utah.
Ordinary asking. These aren't even laminated. This is posted, private property, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. And they've got one there, one there, one there.
Because the police had already closed their investigation, this would pretty much mark the end of the whole situation. Back in 2013, a man named Phil Poling would upload this video to his YouTube channel. The video features Phil out late at night in his neighborhood, located in Mission, Oregon. Phil claimed to have heard strange noises echoing around outside his neighborhood only a few minutes prior, which is why he was outside in the first place. Once he reached a nearby forest that was only around 200 feet from his house, he would again hear the noises. And this is where he started recording.
January 21st, about 11 p.m. I'm a couple hundred feet from my house. You can hear it going off in the background right now. Kind of sounds weird. Kind of sounds doggish, hyena-ish.
Hey, I've learned by now, if you got a gut feeling, trust it, and go with it. That sounds like screaming almost.
I mean, that almost sounds like laughter.
Yeah.
It's actually gotten closer since it started. It's probably only 200 feet, 300 feet from me.
It could just
right
be
now.
kids having a party or something, but
The recording of noises continued for a
scary.
while longer, until the sounds of gunshots can be heard echoing from the forest.
Oh, what? And what is that? What is that right there? Oh,
I think that was a gunshot.
yeah, that was a gunshot, buddy. And another.
Multiple people in the community itself.
He's scared. He won't go nowhere around there to see what's going on.
So leading up to the recording, but just what exactly was making the noises is still unclear.
I wouldn't do it either, though. So
This video features the GoPro
not
footage
knocking you,
of
bro.
two dirt bikers riding on a remote path in the forest. Throughout the video, the bikers can be seen going at extreme speeds, but doing this would quickly prove to become almost deadly. As the bikers continued on the path, they were unexpectedly met with a steel cable strung across two trees at perfect neck level for oncoming bikers.
Oh,
At a
God.
fast enough speed,
Good thing he
this
saw
truck
it.
could no doubt take the lives of anyone riding through that didn't see it.
That's
Fortunately,
horrible. Who would do
the
that?
biker in the front did see it and was able to react quick enough to avoid
Thank
it.
God. That's messed up. I'll take your head right off of you. I would be going to the police about this for sure. They should have left it right where it was, though.
The bikers would actually debate whether or not to stay and wait for the person who set up the trap to come back, but they would end up deciding against this. It's
I'd
still
wait a
unknown who's
long
responsible. Mark Andre was a man who devoted his career to exploring the vast woods of Northern California. He worked as his town's environmental service director, so it was quite literally his job to spend time in the woods. In February of 2018, he had been tasked with marking trees, and while he was doing so deep in the woods, he would come across some makeshift cabin, which, considering the extreme remoteness of the area he was in, made the discovery highly abnormal. Mark would of course get a closer look at the structure. The thing was only around 8 by 12 feet wide and 15 feet tall. There was a lock on the shack's only entrance, and from the outside there was no real evidence anyone was there. Still, disturbed by the finding, Mark would head back to get professional assistance. The next few days would consist of multiple attempts to contact the owner of the shack, but all of them ultimately failing. So, finally, upon revisiting the structure, the men would break open the lock to the front door. They would find a space that was clearly being lived in, or at the very least had been lived in recently. The shack had its own furniture, a pot-bellied stove, a small library, and even a typewriter. Jars and cans of food filled the shelves. However, in spite of all this, the search resulted in no further identification of the actual owner.
Could be a writer
Because
that
the
goes
shack
out
was
to the
illegally
woods, you know,
constructed,
to
men ultimately had no
clear
other
their
choice but to
mind
leave
and
an
write,
eviction
and
notice
they
on
got
the
a
front door
typewriter.
before leaving. A few days later, the authorities returned to see out the contract, but there was nothing there. The makeshift cabin was completely gone.
What?
Whoever the owner was had deconstructed it, with literally the only thing left behind being an international squatter symbol made from charcoal. Many theorized the owner was wanted by authorities.
I didn't know the squatters had an international symbol.
Evading any contact with other people. But whether or not this is even close to true is still up for debate. To this day, the real owner of the shack is still unidentified. This video was captured on an early morning in the middle of December. It takes place in Canada and features some disturbing noise echoing throughout the forest. it's not clear what the noise is. Many frequent hunters would report to have never heard anything even remotely similar.
What that is? Scariest.
Wolves? That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe not.
One comment suggested the noise could have been a wolf that was either trapped or left behind by its pack. It's also possible it was another animal, such as an elk or possibly a bull moose. Although none of these theories have been confirmed.
I have seen one of those Bigfoot videos that sounded just like this. They were making the same kind of noise and showed like a Sasquatch type figure in the background. I don't know about that, but it sounded just like this. So I've heard it before.
YouTube user Rainy Schuler would upload this video to YouTube in 2013. The video's footage is from multiple security cameras Rainy would set up around his house, which was in an isolated area of the Rocky Mountains. The whole idea behind the cameras was to capture the footage of the different wildlife around his property, to then upload to YouTube.
A bear.
But on September 13, the cameras around his house would catch something completely out of the ordinary. You can see as a woman walks out from the complete darkness of the woods.
I wonder if she sees the camera. Do you see that glare? That glare that keeps moving? I wonder what that is.
Some believe the woman was lost, or that her car had broken down nearby. But that doesn't explain her general careless mannerism as she aimlessly walks around the property.
Right, instead of just going and
A while
knocking on the
later,
door.
woman could be
You
seen
need
walking
help.
right back into the forest. After that night, the house owner would never see this woman again.
Alright, that'll do it for the video, guys. Please definitely leave a like for the video and consider subscribing to the channel. That does help. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.